Welcome to Primal Defense Combat Systema. I'm Andrew Grapsis, Certified Combat Systema Instructor under Kevin Sikors. In this video series, we're going to be talking about one of the most fundamental functions of survival that the human has access to. So we all know that without adequate water, we'll die. Without adequate food, we'll perish. But one of the elements that is the highest limiter, if you will, the one that we most immediately hit a wall with, if it's not provided access to, is breath. Breath is fundamental beyond all other needs for us to survive. We can only survive on average about 3 minutes without breath. In certain types of high pressure circumstances, it may be less than 3 minutes. In ideal conditions, the human body might be able to survive past 3 minutes, but on average we're looking at about 3 minutes of breath deprivation until we expire. Breath is fundamental to our being. It is part of the autonomic nervous system. That is the aspects of our body that we don't have conscious control over. Other examples of the autonomic nervous system include your circulation, your digestion, your blink response. We obviously don't have any physical access to our circulation, can't control that ourselves. We can't control our digestion, but two elements of the autonomic nervous system that we can consciously control, even though they are unconscious, are our breath and our blinking. When I first started learning about breath, it was taught to me from the perspective of it's the only useful part of the autonomic nervous system that we can control. However, anyone who has looked into any type of trauma-focused work in psychotherapy probably has heard of EMDR, which is a technique that utilizes blinking to help heal traumatic experiences. I'm not going to go into any of that. That is not an area of my expertise, but if you're interested in it, look it up. Why the focus on breath? Well, many combative systems do have some lip service given to breath. For example, when I was working on my black belt in Taekwondo, there was a punctuation with the exhale followed by an immediate inhale. So you would strike and then inhale. We'd inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. You see this pretty frequently in activities like yoga as well, where you'll perform a movement, exhaling through the mouth, find the non-stressful position, and then inhale through the nose. But there's never really a divergence from that simple inhale-exhale, that out through the mouth, in through the nose. And there's never an explanation of why that occurs. In some systems, breath is just completely disregarded. Now, I'm going to grossly generalize a martial art and say that in my Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu training, I have had no focus whatsoever on breath. No one has ever talked about how you should breathe while grappling. What should you be aiming for? How should you be utilizing the functions of inhale and exhale? Should you be inhaling through the nose? Should you not be inhaling through the nose? Should you be inhaling at a rhythm? Should you be punctuating like you do in striking? There's been no real consideration in my particular training that I've encountered for breath work. That's not to say that it doesn't exist in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, just I have not encountered it amongst my coaches and trainers, seminars that I've gone to, and whatnot. Again, that doesn't mean it doesn't exist, I just haven't seen it. Other martial arts like combat systema have a heavy focus on breath work. Now, I'm going to say that the emphasis is there in the material. The emphasis is there from the root. You go and look at Kevin's work and you will see that breath exists as a fundamental tenet of combat systema. If we look at other forms of systema, not just combat systema, we'll see that breathing is fundamental to them as well. So we can probably extrapolate that breath is fundamental to the Slavic martial arts. All of that being said, I know plenty of practitioners that yes, I know breath. Yes, this is fine. Yes, I get it. In here, out there, it's fine. This rhythm, sure, okay. They do the lip service for the breath, but don't necessarily find in them the reasons to practice continually, the reasons to improve, and they don't see the connective tissue that exists in breath between all other practices we, as combat practitioners, train and execute on. Breath is fundamental, breath is important, and breath is often overlooked. As such, I wanted to spend a little bit of time going through different exercises, going through different modalities, and reasons for us to emphasize and improve our overall breath. All of that being said, we need to be practical in our application. If we talk about breath in a purely theoretical form, it's fine and dandy to do that, but we need to constantly take that theory, practice and apply it, and then apply a level of pressure so that we can see how, in non-ideal circumstances, our bodies respond, our psyche responds, and how we can integrate the work into those experiences. Personally, breath has been foundational for my own responses in high-stress environments, whether it's, going and interviewing for a company, or it's on the mats, rolling, grappling, and having something unexpected trigger my nervous system and bring it to a heightened state. For this first exercise, we're going to perform the most fundamental activity in breath work. We're going to become aware of our own breathing. We're going to do this without any level of judgment or modification. So go ahead and find a room that's quiet, somewhere you can relax and listen to yourself. Find a position that is natural for you. You could be laying down, it could be in a recliner, it could be sitting. It doesn't really matter. Once you've settled in, go ahead and breathe normally, and just allow the silence to take over. After several breaths, and no, you shouldn't be counting, go ahead and allow yourself to feel the inhale and exhale. Become aware of the air entering your nostrils. Feel your lungs fill and expand. And then with the exhale, feel them contract. Sit for as long as you feel comfortable, just feeling the natural change in your body with each exhale and inhale. There's no more work that needs to be done. Sit for as long as you want, just feeling yourself breathe. Ideally, perform this activity at least once a day while you're beginning to cultivate your breath work. Breath awareness will aid you in every single technique from here on. So make sure you've really cultivated your breath awareness and have a great capacity for understanding and feeling that flow of air through your body. Know that this is something you have to build. You can't just one day say, I want to become aware of my breath. You will need to practice. Feel free to practice anywhere you want, whether it's while you're commuting in the morning, in your office at work, while jogging, in a room that's quiet, or anywhere else. Alright, that's it for Primal Defense Combat Systema. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Feel free to email me. And as always, stay safe.